Hello, and welcome to day 17 of the Empath Challenge. Today's teaching and challenge is about frequency or vibration. Both words describe how something feels to us. The challenging part in any interaction with a person or a place is that we can feel the energy, but we don't always really understand what we're feeling. And I don't know that we're in a habit of analyzing the feeling. And for today, I would like to share with you a little bit of how I look at writings and people. And I would like you to start making a mental note and maybe even writing something down to determine what it is exactly that's in front of you. What's exactly happening, because whenever you connect with somebody, you are connecting to their soul. As an empath, it's a soul-to-soul connection. There's no way to avoid that. You feel the soul. You know the soul. You know the soul. Now, there's all this other garbage that's part of that whole equation that needs to be cleared out both in you and in the other person. And discerning when to engage with somebody more or not is huge. When it's too heavy and too tough, the frequency doesn't feel right to us, definitely step back. There's no question. But other times, our want to help brings us straight in, and being able to separate out and see someone as an energy as opposed to that person takes a little bit of stepping back. Energetically, they're dealing with all kinds of things, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. What are they ready to hear? Where is their polarity at? So all of that comes into play when you're assessing someone. And the good part is, as an empath, I want you to just not so much look at each layer separately, not yet at least. Have a general idea of where that person's at on a scope of, 10 to 1, 10 being someone that's very healed. Like, start analyzing and start feeling into the writings and the energy exchange that happens with someone who is very evolved as opposed to somebody who's not. So all along the way, there's going to be people all in the middle of that to discern the energy that you're reading and whether or not you want to have a lot of contact with them or not. Because energetically, at this point in time, for empaths, it's important that the risk is that we lower ourselves with the energies that we're interacting with. The idea to help yourself is to keep going up. And you do that by interacting with people of a higher vibration than your own, or at least a similar vibration. So I want you to start looking at people and places in terms of vibration and where does it serve for you to be. There is no right or wrong answer. There's just your judgment, and I want you to trust in yourself without, here comes the big caveat, without truly always really understanding why, logically, you don't want that interaction with that person. An advanced point would be to know why, but start where you are and go from there. Sometimes we never know why. I'm just telling you this right now. You're just going to have to go with the feeling that you have without fully understanding it, which really is very challenging. That's a challenge, because if you're very logical and you want everything figured out and you want a reason for everything, you may get the answer in the form of a knowing, and you may never get the answer. So at some point it becomes, are you going to trust just to trust or not? So your challenge today is to start paying attention, making mental notes of a level of vibration from people, the authors behind a written article, comments on Facebook, because we're all connecting. Where are they at on their journey? Every single person you're going to meet is on a journey. Every single person has lessons, life lessons and challenges. Every single person, sensitivity-wise, is at a different point. Every single person has polarity to some extent or not. Every single person is gifted in a different way. And just because someone is psychic does not mean that they are healed and of a high vibration. It just means that certain ones of their chakras are open and they can access certain information. So don't assume that because someone is more gifted than you and more in tune with certain energies that they are either more or less a higher or a lower vibration. I want you to start trusting in your own judgment, but the whole point of this challenge is to help you discern and see things that you might have not seen before because you weren't paying attention. All right? Don't lose sight of yourself. This is where you are. You stay in your heart. You have your boundary, but I want you to start looking at the world and people in that way, so you can have compassion for where they're at. Some people are not to be awakened in this lifetime. They're doing fine. Their vibrations actually could be fine, but they're not aware yet or awake. That wasn't the purpose of the lifetime, and it is not necessarily our job to force this on anyone. So when a fruit is ripe, right, it just falls off the tree and it's ready. It's ready to be eaten. When a person is ready to hear, see, know something, it will just be a very natural sharing with them without any force at all. So I'll leave you with that. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you soon.